to call to order the June 17th, 2025 meeting of the Las Virgenes-Malibu Council of Governments. Will the Executive Director please call the roll?
Aniko Gold.
Here.
Marianne Riggins.
Here.
Alicia Weintraub.
Here.
Ray Pearl.
Here.
President Sylvester.
Here. Thank you. We move on to approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any changes they would like to make to the agenda? If not, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Will the Executive Director please call the roll?
Aniko Gold.
Aye.
Marianne Riggins.
Yes.
Alicia Weintraub.
Yes.
Ray Pearl.
Aye.
President Sylvester.
Aye. Thank you. We'll move on to public comment. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the governing board? Terry, have you received any public comments electronically?
I have not.
Since we have no public comments, we will go to item number 4, the consent calendar. Consent calendar items will be approved in one motion unless removed for separate discussion or action. Would anyone like to remove any item from the consent calendar? Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Will you call the roll? Terry?
Aniko Gold.
Aye.
Marianne Riggins.
Yes.
Alicia Weintraub.
Yes.
Ray Pearl.
Aye.
President Sylvester.
Aye. Thank you. In the consent calendar, we approved appointing Marianne Riggins as the new COG representative to the Metro San Fernando Valley Service Council. I would like to take this moment to thank Dennis Washburn, who's with us this morning, for his service as the COG representative to the Service Council since 2012. I know most of you know Dennis. He is a founding council member of the city of Calabasas and was the founder and first president of the COG. Thank you, Dennis, for your service. Would you like to say a few words? Dennis, I think you're muted.
Hold on. Dennis, unmute yourself. Dennis, you're muted.
How's that? Is that
There
working?
you go. There we go.
I would like to say a few words of thanks to everybody who has chosen to serve on the Las Virgenes-Malibu Council of Governments. It's great to see everybody lined up on my screen, and it's very convenient to be able to do it on screen and not have to travel all the times that we've had to travel all these years since we founded the COG in the first place. And I will say that I think the job of serving on the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, Public Transportation Service Council of the San Fernando Valley takes as long as it takes to serve to get there. You'll have a good time getting down to the Marvin Browdy Center near the courthouse in Van Nuys. And one of the major projects that's going on with that organization that I think our COG should actually pay attention to is that there's a light rail system with about $1,600,000,000 of our money going on in improving, so-called, the Van Nuys Boulevard, basically from the Red Line station all the way up to Sylmar. And that'll be one of the major assignments that you have in order to serve our Council of Governments. And because we don't have a lot of bus routes, either in Malibu or in the 101 corridor, line 161, 169 here on the corridor, and LA City has 423. Malibu, I think, needs an awful lot more service, and we should have cross-mountain transportation opportunities. So I look forward to your involvement in making those kinds of changes that serve our community. So it's actually been a lot of work to serve on that council, because you do have to travel and you have to meet in person and you have to meet downtown LA for the so-called meet and confer with the executive officer and leaders of the Metropolitan Transit Authority. And the big boss is the Board of Supervisors, really, because they have the significant representation on the board of MTA. So the fact that our COG and all of you have that open door, it's actually a really great way to keep track of all the dollars that are available. And that's everything from transportation to housing to environment and so many other things. It's great to have you doing that. I was happy to serve all this time, and I hope that it has been productive for us as a Council of Governments. Terry probably can give you some idea of, what our relationships with MTA and with SCAG and with the League of California Cities, LA Division, et cetera, can produce. So it's been, I would say, not fun, but it's been very rewarding to be engaged in that whole thing. And I thank you all for allowing me to serve. And I look forward to hearing all of the things that you're going on to continue. So thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks, Dennis.
so much, Dennis. We so appreciate everything you've contributed, not just to the COG, but to the community as a whole. So thank you. And Marianne, you've got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, I'm going to say Terry undersold this job a little bit.
Marianne, in fact, I will volunteer to, bring up to speed in a less formal environment on things that might be of interest to you and to Malibu in particular, but to the COG for sure, because it's hard to represent a territory as large as ours and as difficult to serve with public transportation and private transportation for that matter. So anything I can do to help you represent our people and make sure we continue to get our fair share, maybe even better. And Terry can talk to you about that because I think we've done a good job with your help, COG members, in getting the investments that we all make in LA County's public transportation service. So I think we're the leader, are we not, Terry?
Well, we're doing very well. Yes.
That's it.
Metro's acknowledged that we're doing very well. So
Well,
All right. Thank you so much. So Terry, you're up.
thanks a lot, Dennis.
Yep, I'm done. But if I may stay on the meeting, I'd love to watch how you guys work.
Oh, absolutely. All right. We're now moving on to information items, our executive director's report. Terry?
Thank you, President Sylvester. I have a few things to update the governing board on. The first one is on our fiber project. I can point out that the memo that I sent to Magellan and Entrust in care of Jory Wolf that's attached to my executive director's report kind of sums up where we are in that we had a little pushback from Entrust Magellan about making changes and what the responsibilities were. So I had the new consultant, Jonathan Smith, go through the original contract and put that memo together. I have spoken with Jory a couple of times, and he's supposed to be back to me early this week with a date that we can get together and begin to finally make some significant progress on this. It's been stalled for a little bit, which I apologize for, but the slowness has not stopped the work, and I expect to have the rebid package hopefully within 30 days. It just now kind of depends on how long it's going to take Entrust to make the changes. So we are working on that, and additionally, we've had additional follow-up meetings with LA County because there was some concern with regard to the trenching and the micro trenching, and we did meet with LA County to incorporate the recommended repairs to micro trenching, or not repairs, but the process for micro trenching and capping the trench so it does not mess up the street in the future. That's not a public works term. That's a layman's term. But we are working, and I hope to have a good report to you next month with kind of where we are and when we can go out to rebid the project. The city managers and I discussed Measure A and the affordable housing component at the meeting that we had earlier this month. La Casa is going to have their memorandum of understanding for the COGs, and I expect to get that in the next week or so. Once I have that, I'll have a better understanding of some of the issues that we're dealing with. I did meet with, at the recommendation of the city managers, I met with Michael Klein from Calabasas, because Calabasas does have a rental assistance program. And then I also met with Susan Duenas, who I meet with frequently on homeless issues. And we had a conversation about what we might be able to do. So hopefully when we come back next month with an MOU from La Casa, I'll also have some of the blanks filled in with regard to how we spend this money and what we can do in order to achieve the goals that the county has, and at the same time, be realistic with the funding that's available to us to work on these projects. So I will be getting back with you on that. I did have a really good meeting with the Highway Working Group a couple of weeks ago to discuss our Measure M allocations. And based upon previous discussions that I've had with the city managers with regard to the fiber project, there was an interest that even if the fiber project, when we go out to bid again, if it came in higher than what we currently have allocated, which is 14.5 million, then we could add additional funding. And so what I am proposing initially with the cities when I had this meeting with them was that I would allocate an additional 4.5 million from that almost 14 million to the COG fiber project, and then allocate the rest to the cities based upon the formula that the COG has traditionally used over the years with Measure R and Measure M. And that way it gives them an opportunity to begin looking at projects and funding. And then I assured them if the fiber project comes in under and we don't need this additional funding, or if we don't need all the funding, then I would backfill it with the cities and they would have that additional funding for their individual city projects. So that's going good. I did want to point out that the California Community Foundation, who the COG executive directors met with a couple months ago to discuss La Casa, we're meeting with them again in an in-person meeting next week with all of the COG executive directors to talk about different programs that the county has and that the COG may ultimately be involved in, but at least it's good to know about that. With regard to the COG website and meeting invoices, I want to thank Kindon and the Calabasas staff, especially Ani, for assisting in the transition from their communications department to a more slimmed down version. But it went very smooth, and I really appreciated Ani's ongoing assistance on that. And we did I did discuss with Penny that now that we have this transition worked out, I'll be making some changes to the website in order to update it, because we have some photos on there that are maybe 10 or 15 years old. So we'll try and update it, provide more current information and photos. And then I did want to point out that I raised this with the city managers, that I recently, at the advice of my accountant, she's been bugging me for a few years now to form a California C corporation in order to plan my taxes a little better and some other things. So They recommended that I speak with COG counsel Larry Weiner, who's always done, the contracts over the years. So I reached out to Larry. He's in Japan, but his assistant, Roxanne Diaz, who's provided support to the COG in the past, is working on that, and I expect to have that. I will once I have that, I'll get it out to all of you so you can see. But the only thing that will change is that the entity that is paid, I still will be the only employee, will be doing all the work, but um, just wanted to pass that along. And that concludes my report. If anybody has any questions.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Any questions? Seeing none, we will move on to city updates, and I'll call on Nate to start.
Good morning, honorable board members. Some updates with us. We just started our summer events like many of you. We had our first summer concert this past Sunday, and then we will also have our movies in the park starting as well. An exciting thing that we are working on is the launch of our new website, which will be in about next 30 to 45 days. We are also working on a new system for our public meetings with our agendas and broadcasting. So look for that soon. Some other issues that we are working on, electric bikes seem to be an issue that I think a lot of you are dealing with. We are working with the juvenile team and the sheriff's department on that. And then the council has directed staff to look at how those impact our parks and local roadways. So we'll be looking at that this upcoming fiscal year. And the final thing, I think a lot of you have heard or will hear about the PSPS changes that are occurring. The threshold for the winds is being lowered. And so we are looking at how do we address those issues from power being out maybe longer periods of time. And so I'll also be reaching out to all the city managers, and hopefully we can work together on trying to address those issues. So with that, I will turn it back over to Penny and Jeremy for any additional items.
Thank you. I would just like to add that we'd like to invite anybody who is in town on the 6th of July to join us for our second drone show, which will be at Chumash Park. And that's all I have to add. So moving on, Kindon.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be with you. Just a couple of items. This last council meeting, we had 2 recognitions for our community service department. We're really excited to share with you. The California Park and Recreation Society recognized our community service department for a service award of excellence for the champion of the community, and recognized our Care in Calabasas group. I think at our last meeting, I mentioned that the Care in Calabasas received a national award. So they're on a roll right now. So we're really excited to see what they're doing, and really appreciative of the time and energy that they spend in the community. The second award was the Marketing and Communications Award of Excellence, and that was for our recreation brochure. And so we're excited to announce that and share that with the group. Our Firewise Communities initiative continues. We're working right now with our 14th and 15th neighborhood or HOA to get those certified as Firewise communities. This has been a big undertaking, and what we're seeing, and I think many of you that are also involved in the process, is initially a number of communities, HOAs, wanted to move forward with the Firewise communities because of the potential decrease in insurance premiums that benefit would offer. What we're seeing more now is that these Firewise communities are really doing their part and taking the efforts to do the home hardening and brush clearance and other initiatives, especially after the fires, and recognizing how important those small things can be. Finally, we are starting today with a strategic planning workshop. We're excited about that. We'll start this afternoon and go into tomorrow. I know Westlake Village is in the middle of their process, and we're excited for the council to be able to do this. As those of you who've gone through a similar process, you understand what a legacy this creates as the 5 get together and then set the path forward for the future. So we're excited about that. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Alicia for anything else.
No, I think you covered it all. So
Thank you so much. All right, Sean, can you provide us an update from Hidden Hills?
Happy to do so. Good morning, board members. Sean from Hidden Hills. We're happy to report that council just passed with their second reading a construction site ordinance that further protects our community's day-to-day activities and day-to-day life with dust mitigation, noise and vibration mitigation, and just general construction site cleanliness. Additionally, the council has issued a letter continuing their opposition to SB 470, which is the carrier of last resort. I know that's an important issue for all of us, but certainly here in Hidden Hills, that's a very big issue for us. 2 months ago, council also passed one of the first ever red flag restrictions beyond just parking restrictions during red flag, but going into spark producing items, construction items, construction elements, reducing, restricting, or just banning those types of items during red flag events. Obviously, that's to help curb the higher risk of fire and creating fire or spreading fire. Additionally, Hidden Hills is very proud to give an update on Hidden Hills is officially a Firewise city, which I think is the only one in the state. Size at some points has its advantages, and so we've been able to pull that one off. So kudos to the council for seeing the potential for that, and our staff here at Hidden Hills at carrying that one through. And in fact, I think one of our council members has already seen the economic benefit as it relates to the insurance side of things, which I know we're all feeling. So, and then lastly, we've recognized that Malibu, the PCH is open, Canyon roads are open, but the commercial stretch there is obviously going to have a bit of a road in front of them to get back on their feet. So we've been working on a campaign to help Malibu to make our residents aware that it's important to support our local businesses and that Malibu's got a great deal to offer, and encouraging them to go visit Malibu now that we're 4 or 5 months removed from the fire. So those are some of the items we've been working on. There's a common theme between all of them with regards to fire safety and things like that. So anyway, that's what I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anika, do you have anything to add?
No, I just want to say we're so excited about supporting Malibu, and we sent a mass email out to our community encouraging everybody to go visit Malibu, dine in Malibu, and just spend time in Malibu so we can help with the recovery efforts.
Thank you so much. Marianne, I don't see Candace on the call. Are you going to give the report?
Yes. So thank you to Hidden Hills and all our neighboring cities. We appreciate all the support during this time. As you know, Pacific Coast Highway is open, and it is 25 miles an hour through that section. So please remind all your residents when they do come, make sure they're observing all the speed limits, because enforcement is out there. Same with one of the things that we've really seen an uptake in is the amount of front place license plate tickets. So if you can remind your residents to please talk to their dealer about getting their front plate installed. That helps with the flock cameras and some of the other enforcement issues that we're doing. And so I want to make sure everybody has a pleasant experience when they come to Malibu. So get those front license plates on there. The debris removal is proceeding. Proceeding at a Sorry, I'm just getting some feedback. So the debris removes proceeding at a good clip, and so that's exciting to mention. And thank you to all the cities. I know that it has impacted all your areas in one way or another, so we appreciate your patience during this time frame. And it's just an exciting time. We've had some beautiful weather at the beach, so come visit us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rob, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. A few updates from Westlake Village. We approved our budget. I'm sure you all are working through that as well. So that's always a big deal. A lot of work for the city to go through that. But happy to say we have a balanced budget and a pretty good outlook, at least for the next few years. We do have a softening sort of revenue outlook, which I know every city is dealing with. So some structural challenges in our budgets as we look at the long term here. So that'll be some work ahead of us in terms of correcting that. Our strategic plan effort is underway. So we had our first meeting with our citizen group and with Kelly and Ray, and that was a really good kickoff. So we're looking forward to the second meeting next week. I have more to report on that effort soon. We're working with Southern California Edison to replace all our street lights to LED lights. That's a big change here. It'll save energy, dollars, and it helps our sustainability goals. So that's underway right now. It takes about 3 weeks to replace all of the street lights across town. Nate mentioned e-bikes. We are having a heck of a time with e-bikes as well, challenge in all of our neighborhoods. So we've been doing various things with Lost Hills on that, have impounded a number of e-bikes and getting the word out, mainly for the danger. We're really concerned that someone's going to get really hurt on some of these kids, that those bikes are so fast. And so we're working closely with Lost Hills on that. Our summer concerts are underway. We've got a big 4th of July plan as well, parade, and of course our big fireworks show. So we're looking forward to that as well. But yeah, very, very busy here in Westlake Village. I'll pass it over to Kelly and Ray if you have anything to add.
I would just add one item, and that is we've seen a slight uptick in unhoused individuals in Westlake Village and more incidents between some of them and some of our residents. And I just want to be incredibly complimentary of the Lost Hills Sheriff's Department, the work that they've been able to do, but also the work of Gabriel. I know we feel we benefit from all of the work that he does in our communities, but as he does that outreach and tries to humanize this conflict and this problem that we're all feeling, just really appreciate the resources that are going to help those members in our community as well.
Thank you. I think we all second that. Gabriel, thank you for everything you do for the COG. You're really appreciated. We're not. Kelly, did you have anything to add? Oh, great. All right. So we're now moving on to our public safety, legislative, and agency partner update. I think we'll start with Lieutenant Foss from Lost Hills.
Hey, good morning. For those of you I have not met, I am Lieutenant Roman Foss, filling in for Lieutenant Dustin Carr until the end of the month. Just before I forget, for the city of Malibu, Caltrans is doing a good job. I was down by LAX a couple days ago, indicating that PCH is open through Malibu, so that's good for business. And as well as the electric bikes and the homeless population. Obviously, that's a big issue regarding this entire Southern California region, state in general, especially when it comes to mental health. So we are keeping that on our radar. We do appreciate the acknowledgement for supporting the cities. Just an update for our station personnel. Our personnel are doing really well. We truly appreciate the support from the community. Captain C2 was here yesterday. She was doing well, obviously operating out of the Hall of Justice. On a sad note, one of our off-duty custody deputies was killed this morning in a traffic accident on the 101 freeway in North Hollywood. Initial assessments indicate his vehicle was disabled in a traffic lane when it was struck. So let's keep his family in our prayers. Obviously, the elephant in the room recently are the protests within the downtown region as well as some of the surrounding areas. Obviously, federal operations continue to operate within Southern California. Lost Hill Station, on average, deploys 4 to 6 deputies per shift through our mobile field force deployments. I'm happy to report that none of our deputies have sustained any injuries during those deployments. With regard to some of the local protests that we were tracking, as well as your city officials making us aware of, the Malibu protests that occurred on Saturday had approximately 150 in attendance. We had teams on standby and as well as fire. There was a gathering at I believe Lakeview Canyon near the 101 freeway. There were about 60 participants in that, as well as some offshoot rallies and whatnot. All of our incidents have resulted in peaceful gatherings with nothing significant to report out of any of those. We have, I'm only aware of one unconfirmed reported federal operation within our area of responsibility. As I indicated in my email, if you guys do become aware of those situations, please let the watch commander know, or you can shoot me an email. In light of the global incidents that are occurring in the Middle East, we've also advised our deputies to conduct patrol checks, as well as be visible around our religious institutions. And finally, as someone mentioned earlier, 2 vegetation fires occurred in Ventura County. I'm sure Fire will speak on that. I just reminded our staff, reminder to you guys to monitor the Watch Duty app for incidents we may not be aware of, as well as evacuation updates. That's all I have, unless someone has any questions.
Thank you so much for that report, and our deepest sympathies to the loss this morning to your department. Does anybody have any questions for Lieutenant Voss? No, seeing none. Thank you so much. Do we have a representative from the fire department here? I don't see Megan. No, I don't think we have anyone today. All right. I'll call on Daniel Vicente from Supervisor Horvath's office.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Speaking of fire, my building just decided to conduct a fire test. So if you hear any beeping in the background, that is what's going on. So just some brief updates from our office. As Sheriff spoke on with this one, we are aware of the ICE raids going on throughout the county. The supervisor has not made not necessarily made her feelings secret with that one. They are definitely well known. A lot of the conduct that's been happening on part of the federal government is extremely distressing. It's discriminatory, and we are doing the best we can to support our communities right now. We're putting resource guides together. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for everyone to please share. It's our Office of Immigrant Affairs at the county. If you can please send that out to residents so that they can get that out to their community contacts with regards to what folks' rights are. There's also some phone numbers for some legal services on there as well. We also want to wish everyone a very happy Pride Month. We are observing that as an office and celebrating it. So thank you for all of the partner cities in observing that as well. We appreciate it. It is fire safety season, so if there are any fire safety fairs that you have coming up, I know our office has a few that are planned right now. Please feel free to reach out to me and let me know, and we'll do our best to be out there and support and give out materials. So that's coming up pretty quick. So definitely in the process of getting some stuff so that we can share resources with our communities on the ground. I feel like I'm forgetting something. If I remember, I'll drop it in the chat, but that's all I have for now. And thank you all so much.
Thank you for that report. Any questions? No. Moving on. Do we have somebody from the Highway Patrol with us this morning? Okay. Cal Cities, Jeff.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. I have a pretty extensive report in your packet. I did want to drop a couple updates here and also in the chat. I'm putting in last Friday, the state legislature did pass a budget. They didn't actually come to an agreement with the governor on this yet. So we are still expecting some budget trailer bills and other communications and negotiations to continue, but they have the rough framework, it appears. So there's a budget analysis in there in the chat. The biggest note is there is some money that the legislature put in for Prop 36. We are unsure what the governor would do with that. He does have that blue pencil authority. He could reduce some of that, so we're keeping an eye on that. And then also, of course, there's no HAP funding, that homelessness housing and assistance programming funds that really only went to the big cities. But when funding drops in one place, we'll probably feel it in a county at the size with the homeless problem that we have of the size that we do here in LA County. So we may feel some of that as the city and county of LA get a reduction in their the funds that they have to deal with some of the homeless issues that we have. Just a quick update: SB 79, which obviously there is a report in the packet, but it was just amended this morning. It is also, and I haven't had a chance to see what those amendments are. They've only been Senator Wiener has been amending 79, really trying to pick up votes. He did get just squeaked through out of the Senate. This bill has also been triple referred, which is unusual and creates a little bit of a scheduling challenge for Senator Wiener. It's going to housing and local government, which was expected, but also now to assembly resources, which is natural resources, which is a little unusual. So we will be seeing that. Lastly, I think I'll just mention annual conference is coming up. Though, I know many of you, even traveling to Long Beach, will often try to stay down there. Please book your lodging as soon as you can. That will sell out quickly. It gets hard to find as the months go on. And then also our installation of our division officers will be happening here in August. I hope to see many of you there. We have James Visagian, of course, as our state director, and then Laura McCorkindale, from Hidden Hills as well, will be installed as your representative from the COG. So we hope to see you at some of those events. So happy to take any questions or reach out if you do have any lingering questions about some of the legislation.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Jeff? Seeing none, Nancy, would you like to? Oh, sorry,
Kelly.
Go ahead.
Jeff, what was the budget amount for Prop 36?
110 million.
Okay.
But like I said, and there is a sort of breakdown, but the governor could reduce that. So we're keeping a close eye on that because he was a big proponent or opponent of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Nancy.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see your faces. This report is going to be quick. We start summer break very shortly in the next few weeks. All of our bills that went over to the Senate, we had 15. We had 3 that we turned into 2-year bills and hope to pass next year after a little more cooking. We had a lovely coffee with Malibu. Jackie and the mayor were out amongst the community. It was quite a good turnout. Lots of questions, lots of just dropping in to say hi. It felt very neighborly, which is good in these times to have some neighborly things going on. And to that note, Penny, I'm going to be in touch because I think we're coming to Agoura next time and we'd love to have you as our special guest.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Perfect. And as far as big projects, we just finished our huge fire prep webinar, which went well, but left many questions unanswered about what's going to happen with Zone 0 and the high fire safety zones. Things are still being worked on. As you all know, the recommendations keep coming out, but there is nothing concrete. In Sacramento, we are also working on that very same issue with the governor's office and having a little more what is viable in Southern California as opposed to Northern California and in places like West LA, Calabasas, as far as landscaping and plants, and having the fire department actually out and in 3 years checking to make sure you've done everything for Zone 0. So that's a huge work in progress. And that's it for right now.
Thank you.
And budget. I'm going to say Jeff was pretty nice about the budget, saying, things are going okay. And yes, they passed it, but it's kind of dismal as well, especially on our end where we get to fund or get money for our cities for special projects. They just keep shaking their head no. So we'll see. Don't let your cards and letters stop.
Thank you. Any questions for Nancy? Seeing none. Nicholas, would you like to go next?
Thank you. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Just a quick update on the release of the Sepulveda Transit Corridor Draft Environmental Impact Report. We are in the 90-day comment period, which ends on August 30th. And we're going to be holding a series of public information sessions as well as public hearings coming up. And the first public information session is next Monday, June 23rd, from 11:30 to 1 p.m. And this will be virtual. And then we're holding two more public information sessions in the San Fernando Valley, one at Westfield Topanga Community Center on Saturday, July 12th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and in Sherman Oaks at the East Valley Adult Center on Monday, July 21st. Then we're having public hearings. And the difference between a public information session and a public hearing is that at the public hearing, we'll have a court reporter so that you can give your public comment at that meeting, as opposed to during the public information session, which is focused on just information. So the public hearings coming up in the Valley, we've got a virtual one on Wednesday, August 6th from 11:30 to 1 p.m. And then at the Westfield Topanga Community Center on Saturday, August 9th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then again at the Sherman Oaks East Valley Adult Center, Monday, August 18th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And I'm available for any questions, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay, we'll move on to our other Nicholas.
Hi, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Nancy and Jeff did a great job kind of spelling out the details of the budget, but we also think it's dismal, and we hope to have a three-party agreement soon. But obviously, $12 billion deficit is a lot to overcome. But we have a brief kind of update on some bills that we're running. We also had 15 crossover to the Assembly side. Some bills of note are SB 394, which was our water theft bill. We're partnering with LVMWD on this bill to increase kind of the penalties for water theft. And then another bill of note is SB 715, which we're trying to make sure our RENA allocations do not they're not isolated just for these. So sorry, they're being reallocated. So right now we have a bunch of places that have been in emergency situations, and we want to make sure these allocations don't go back to building in the same high fire severity areas. So this will change that. And that is kind of the gist of my update. We also have been hearing a lot of concerns about Zone 0 in the community. So we want to make sure everybody's heard. If anybody has any concerns, I'll put my email in the chat and you can reach out to me. We've been in contact with Board of Forestry. We want to make sure everybody gets heard. Nothing is final, like Nancy said, but obviously this is of great concern. So we want to make sure everybody's voices is heard on this issue, and we have adequate SoCal representation. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Senator Ben Allen's office? No? All right. I see we have Roxy Crawford from FEMA here. Roxy, would you like to say anything?
Good morning, this is Roxy. Thank you. Just reminding everyone that we do have FEMA representation available for residents at the Sawtell, it's on Sawtell, the one-stop rebuilding shop in Los Angeles. They're getting pretty regular visitors. I know there is also SBA available and mental health counseling at the American Legion in Pacific Palisades. I'm available for any questions.
Any FEMA questions? No? Lovely. Hope, would you like to say anything from CPUC? No? No, I guess not. All right. Who else? Let's see who we... Rachel Wagner, SCAG.
Yeah, good morning. I don't have any verbal updates for you this morning from SCAG, but you do have a report from last month in your packets.
Thank you very much. Are there any other representatives here or that would like to say anything?
Can I just add something really quick?
Yes.
In the chat tonight, there is a meeting on the PSPS and all of the new regulations. It's open to everybody. Edison is putting it on, so I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to chime in.
Thank you very much. All right. If there are no more information items, but let's move on to our action items. So the 2025-26 COG budget. I'd like to call upon Terry, our Executive Director, for his budget report.
Thank you. Let me, I do want to share the budget. Oops. So I'm going to go through my my budget memo to highlight that, but I kind of wanted to start to give everybody a big picture with an overview just to see our revenue and projected expenses. So our current projected revenue is 519,218, and that includes the COG dues, $25,000 from each city. We receive, as explained in the budget memo, we receive total reimbursement for the Metro Board deputy that we act as a facilitator for funding. And in addition to that, we receive, as you can see down here, a 4% administrative fee for facilitating that. And then I wanted to point out this item, the $95,000 that we get from Metro. The COG, all of the COGs receive a 0.5% of funding for their COG staff for Measure M related projects. So for me to coordinate with the cities and with the consultants and everything else, I submit a quarterly invoice to Metro that's a quarterly report, and then they reimburse us for that. And that for the past couple of years has been around 70,000 or 80,000. It's going up significantly because of the additional time that I'm spending on the COG fiber project. The next item is the projected revenue is for Gabriel's contract, and that is a totally reimbursable contract. And the same with the administrative support that's part-time for me. That was increased in this budget from 24 to 36,000 because of the additional reporting requirements that will be called for under Measure A. So I did bump that up, but again, that is totally reimbursed. And then I want to point out, I'm requesting under project expenses, I'm requesting a 5% increase. I've also included a 5% increase for Gabriel as the homeless outreach coordinator. And then additionally, the 36,000 expense for the part-time administrative support. The COG liability insurance has been around 4,500. It did go up last year, so I'm expecting it to be around 4,900 or $5,000 this year. That covers the officers and directors' liability insurance. And then lastly, the COG Council, we haven't spent very much, less than $1,000 a year the past couple of years. So I am including $1,000 this year. That may go up slightly as a result of making a revision to the contract. But let me stop sharing here for a second, and then I can get back to my, whoops. Sharing, and then I just kind of want to highlight the other portions of the budget. Specifically with regard to Measure M and Measure R, as I briefed you or sent out the email on the Metro Board presentation with regard to the COGS expenditures on our Measure R funding, which is way ahead of everyone else, the other COGS, which is really great. The COG continues to do our legislative briefings for the governing board by including our legislative partners. We are continuing to work aggressively on our homeless outreach. By aggressively, I don't mean being aggressive with people, just being on the street and being supportive. As everyone knows, Gabriel does a great job. We continue to partner with the County Watershed Steering Committee on stormwater issues, and I continue to meet regularly with the COG executive directors, including a regular meeting with Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins. And then, let's see, what else do I want? Public safety, we continue to have, great participation by our public safety partners, and things are going very well if we can keep the fiber project on track. But we have considerable funding for Measure M, and things are going well. So if I can answer any questions, I'm happy to do so.
Thank you, Terry. Any questions for Terry on the budget? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the 2025-26 COG budget?
Penny, if I can just comment really quickly.
Yes, certainly.
Terry, just so that it doesn't go unsaid, really thoroughly appreciate the job that you and Gabriel do for our COG, and
thank you.
So thankful in just seeing the budget, our ability to compensate both of you, but more than that, just really appreciate the leadership that you provide and the work that you do on our behalf all day, every day. When we're thinking about other things, the COG runs smoothly, and especially with Gabriel and the work that he does, I think our communities feel it, and I know each one of us on the COG do. So I just wanted to acknowledge that service of both of you as we approve this budget.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Penny, I'd be
I
happy to make
appreciate
the motion to approve the budget as presented by our executive director.
Thank you so much. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Terry, would you do the roll call?
Sorry. Aniko Gold,
Aye.
Kelly Honig. I'm sorry. I was looking at my screen. Sorry, Ray. Marianne Riggins.
Yes.
Let's see. Penny, President Sylvester.
Aye.
Vice President Pearl.
Aye.
I'm missing Aniko. Who am I missing?
Alicia.
And me.
Alicia.
And yes.
Alicia, you're not on my screen for some reason.
Oh, I'm here. And I support the budget, and again echo Ray's sentiments. So thank you.
Thanks. I don't know why it's not on my screen. Sorry about that.
Well, you just got her iPhone with no picture.
I had to switch. It was glitching our internet. So I'm here,
okay. Okay.
So the
motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Great. And thank you again for everything you do, both of you, Terry and Gabriel.
Oh, thank you.
And all the other staff that support us. We really do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. So we're moving on now to contract extensions for Homeless Outreach Coordinator, Homeless Administrative Support, and the Metro Board Deputy. Terry,
yes,
I'll call on you.
I apologize for the length of the agenda, but when we do the contracts every year, it's a necessity. But I do have the contract extensions for Gabriel, for Jessica Flores, who is the administrative support, and for Vivian Rascalvo, who is the Metro Board Deputy to Arian. As I said, the contracts for Gabriel and Jessica are fully reimbursed, and so is the from the county, and the contract with Vivian is fully reimbursed through Metro. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I guess I kind of take it for granted because I work with Vivian so frequently on Metro related things, but she's not somebody that all of you see. But she's a great assistance to me, and the COG being the facilitator for her contract certainly helps in certain instances. So I appreciate that, but happy to answer any questions with regard to any of the contract extensions that are proposed.
Thank you, Terry. Are there any questions? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Aniko Gold.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'm doing,
Okay.
yeah, and then a second if.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Second.
yes. Skip that.
I'll second.
All right, now we can vote.
I'll make a motion to approve. Okay,
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Ray. Okay. Aniko Gold,
Aye.
Marianne Riggins,
Yes.
Alicia Weintraub,
Yes.
Ray Pearl,
Aye.
and President Sylvester.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much. We'll now move on to general comments and requests for future agenda items. Are there any comments? Seeing none, are there any requests for future agenda items? No? Lovely. Future meeting dates. The governing board and TAC do not usually meet in August. The executive director and other COG functions continue to operate as usual, but no TAC or governing board meetings are scheduled. I would like to confirm with the board whether you prefer this schedule or you'd rather have no meetings in July. So what is everybody's feeling? Which is a better month to meet?
Our council recesses in July.
Okay.
So I know all our cities are different.
Right. So anyone who would like, hands up, who would like July as to be dark? So I've got 1, 2.
I would. My camera's not working.
Okay, 3. Well then, so we'll go dark in July. Is any objections to going dark in July? No.
Penny, I would just suggest that as a practice, we alternate years because we're dark in August. I don't mind being dark in July and have a meeting in August, but maybe next year we can just do it the other way. I don't know, Terry, what you think of that, but.
Well, for the benefit of the board, we started going dark in August when Mark Rutherford was the president, and Westlake Village goes dark in August. So that's how that got started, and then it's just kind of continued, but it has bounced back and forth a couple of times.
Okay, well, Ray, you'll be up next year as president.
So there's forewarning for next year. Got it. Great.
Okay. So
you're not going to be a diplomat about it. Let voting, right? You're going to make the hard decision.
Leadership, Terry.
Okay, so the next TAC meeting will August the 6th, and the governing board will meet on Tuesday, August the 12th at 8:30 a.m. If there are no further business, I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your summer and happy 4th of July.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Penny. Thanks, everybody.